Alrighty, welcome back artistic ladies and gentlemen to another Fun Fridays episode in this Pokemon TCG Online series where we take a look at fun and silly deck ideas. And today I bring you a very silly deck idea if I say so myself, so be prepared for some shenanigans in this video. It is a Spiritomb and Raichu deck. Before we get started, I do have to mention that I have a concussion at the moment. I fell with my bike this week and had a not so pleasant close contact experience with the ground with a concussion as the result, so please forgive any misplays in this video because I'm not thinking too straight here. My mind is not too clear. Anyways, let's get started with the deck analysis. We are going to pull off a very interesting or very silly strategy, and that is we are going to put as many damage counters on a board with our Raichu here, with the Thunderclap shot from the Raichu, and then we are going to move that damage around with the damage play attack from Spiritomb to try and knock out as many EXs in a single turn as possible, and possibly even take the entire game in one turn. So let's have a look here at Spiritomb. First of all, 70 HP, Darkness type Pokemon, 2 attacks, Nightmare, hits for 10. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now asleep, but the main attack that we are going to be focusing on with Spiritomb is damage play. For a colorless and a Darkness energy, we move as many damage counters on our opponent's bench Pokemon as we like to any of our opponent's other Pokemon in any way we like. Now, it's important to note that it says benched Pokemon because I did not really notice that in testing. I thought I could move the damage from the active as well, so I kind of had a little bit of trouble there, and I also did it during recording at one point, but you will see that in a battle. So it's important to note it's from benched Pokemon and then onto any Pokemon, so you can actually move it to the active, which is kind of strange, so you definitely need to keep that in mind. Anyways, we are going to combine the Spiritomb together with Raichu with the Thunderclap shot attack for a colorless and a lightning energy. This attack does 50 damage to each of your opponent's Pokemon EX. Don't apply weakness and resistance for benched Pokemon, so you can already see what I'm trying to do here. We are going to try to put 50 on all of the X's from our opponent and then move that damage around with the damage play to potentially knock out one or more EXs. Now, why did I choose for Raichu here? Because there are actually quite a few other Pokemon in the standard format that can do damage to the bench. The reason I chose Raichu is twofold. First of all, doing 50 to each EX Pokemon, if your opponent is playing EX Pokemon, quickly adds up to 150 to even 300 damage in one turn for just 2 energies and for just giving up 1 prize if Raichu gets knocked out. And there's no real other Pokemon in the standard format that can do so much damage to the bench just for 2 energies and just for giving up 1 prize. And secondly, the most important reason is because in the current meta at the time that this video is being recorded, tons of people are playing EX and Mega EX decks, which is basically the necessary condition for us to be able to play this Raichu or use this Raichu to its full extent. Because if my opponent is playing Greninja or any other stage 1 or stage 2 deck, this Raichu is basically completely useless. But simply because so many people are playing EXs, this Raichu kinda becomes viable. So it is an anti-meta call here, playing this Raichu together with Spiritomb. Now, as I said, if you're up against Greninja, if you're up against other non-EX decks like Xerneas, like Vespiquen, you will be having a hard time. I did include a little bit of help for those matchups, although it will not be enough most of the time, but at least the help is there, so you might get lucky and be able to sneak a win in those very difficult matchups with those help Pokemon. For example, with Yveltal EX here with the Evil Ball, it's for 20 plus 20 more damage times the amount of energy attached to both active Pokemon. Why Yveltal? Because we are playing Darkness energies already. We are playing 2 Darkness energies, 4 Lightning energies, and 4 DCEs. The Darkness energies are obviously used for our Spiritomb, but since we are playing Spiritomb, might as well include an Yveltal, and then we can use them for Yveltal as well. You could take out Yveltal and replace it with Lugia if that makes you feel more comfortable, because Lugia can attack for a DCE while Yveltal does need that Darkness energy. But I also have a Smeargle in this deck. Smeargle with the second code ability. Once during your turn, you may switch a basic energy card attached to your active Pokemon with a different type of basic energy card from your discard discard pile. This is going to help us to power up our Spiritomb when we need it. For example, if we have a Darkness in our discard pile and a Lightning in our hands, we will attach it to a Spiritomb and then get Spiritomb in the active spot, switch out with the second code, switch out that Lightning for a Darkness from our discard pile. And we can do the same for our Yveltal, we can do the same for any of our other Pokemon. So we have that flexibility here with our Smeargle, and you might think that is not going to be very useful, but actually it has been very clutch for me, this Smeargle in this deck. What has been clutch for me as well is the Raichu here. Besides Yveltal, this Raichu can help us to close out games against non-EX decks. Raichu with the Circle Circuit attack, it's for 20 damage times the amount of our benched Pokemon. So if we have 5 Pokemon on our bench, we are hitting for 100. If we have 8 Pokemon on our bench, we are hitting for 160, and we can actually do that. We can play down 8 Pokemon if we can find enough basics, because I am playing one copy of Skyfield. Now this Skyfield is not only useful for the Circle Circuit Raichu, it's also useful to get rid of our own Shaymins, because I am playing 3 Shaymins in this deck for draw support. Lots of draw support, we need it. I will talk about it later on why we need so much draw support, but we are playing 3 Shaymins. So what we could do is we could play down all of our Shaymins, then we could Skyfield our bench, fill up our bench with 8 Pokemon, and then counter our own stadium with our Faded Tower Stadium, which forces us to discard some Pokemon from our bench. And that means we are going to discard the stadiums or discard the Shaymins that we played down earlier on to make sure that my opponent cannot license them out and get easy prizes. That way we want to force my opponent to deal with our Raichus and only take 1 prize per knockout, except when he knocks out our Yveltal, obviously. So as I said, I am playing Skyfield, and I'm also playing Faded Town. Faded Town at any time between turns, put 2 damage counters on each Mega Evolution Pokemon. Much like the Raichu, this stadium is a meta call. It is because so many people are playing Mega Evolution Pokemon that I decided to include the Faded Town in this deck. And it can be pretty clutch when you need that extra damage to move around. Faded Town can provide it for you if your opponent is playing Mega Mewtwo or Mega Rayquaza, for example. Then let's have a look at the counts of our Pokemon. We are playing a 4-4 line of Pikachu and Raichu. We are playing the Pikachu with the Nuzzle attack. Flip a coin if heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. I prefer to use this Pikachu here because the Nuzzle at the moment cannot be bothered by Pokemon Ranger if your opponent plays it. Pokemon Ranger does not remove the paralysis. That is why I chose the Pikachu with the Nuzzle. There's also Pikachus which prevent damage done to themselves, but the Pokemon Ranger can actually get rid of that effect. Also, don't underestimate the power of the Nuzzle attack here. It might seem trivial, it might seem like something you wouldn't use, but actually I have used it quite a few times, and it has allowed me to take certain games simply by buying myself a turn, by paralyzing my opponent and being able to set up a little bit better on my bench. So we are playing 4 of these Pikachus, 4 Raichus, and then only 1 Spiritomb. Why not more? Simply because Spiritomb is completely useless at the start of the game, and we also don't really want to reveal to my opponent that we are playing Spiritomb. So if we can, we are going to keep Spiritomb in our deck and only play it down near the end of the game, quickly power it up and take the game that way. We don't really mind if the Spiritomb is priced because we can maybe just get it from the prizes then, since we only need it at the end of the game. Then 1 Smeargle and 1 Yveltal because we simply only really need 1. They are not the core Pokemon of this deck. And then 3 Shaymins, as I said, lots of Shaymins, lots of draw support in this deck. We are playing 3 N as well as 4 Sycamore. Why? Because we need to set up very well here with this deck at the start. We need to do several things. First of all, we need to get out multiple Pikachus at the start of the game to make sure that we have at least 1 Pikachu in our second turn to attack with if my opponent would license one of our Pikachus. So we are actually playing 3 level balls and 4 ultra balls to search out our Pokemon to help us get those Pikachus on our bench. And then we also need to find an energy in our first turn to attach it to our Pikachus, make sure we can attack in our second turn. And then we also need to find our XP share here. XP share is one of the core cards of this deck. We are going to attach it to our Pikachus on the bench. When our Raichu in the active spot gets knocked out, we can move energies from the Raichu in the active spot onto the Pikachus or the Raichu on the bench and make sure we can attack with another Thunderclap shot right after our Raichu got KO'd. That is why we need XP share. That is why XP share is super important to have in this deck to be able to continually attack with our Thunderclap shot attack. So that is also why we have lots of draw support to search out all of those cards in our first turn. Then we have 4 VS Seekers to get back our supporters from the discard pile. For example, our Lysander, we are playing 1 copy to Lysander our opponent's easy prizes like the Shaymins, or to maybe Lysander a Hoopa to get it stuck in the active spot. We are also playing 1 X-Maniac to counter Vileplume, to counter Greninja Break, to counter lots of other ability based decks, and maybe even to end our first turn with, if we can manage to draw into our X-Maniac in our first turn, make sure our opponent cannot set up very easily, play down his Shaymins or anything like that. And then we have 1 Delinquent. This card is underrated in my opinion. It is such a powerful card. If your opponent leaves himself with only 3 cards in hand and you have a Stadium in play, or your opponent has a Stadium in play, you can play down Delinquent and force him to discard those 3 cards. If you can then in the same turn knock out his active Pokemon, he must rely on the top deck to find something to power up another Pokemon in his next turn. So this Delinquent here can be a very clutch card at times in certain games. Then onto some more item cards. We are playing 2 Escape Ropes for flexibility. I know Raichu has got free retreat, but we do play Pokemon which do not have free retreat, like our Yveltal or like our Spiritomb. So 2 Escape Ropes are going to help us out there in addition to this 1 Floatstone. Also very useful against Glaceon or Regice if we are up against Regice with our Yveltal, for example, or if we are up against Glaceon with our Raichu, we can Escape Rope, get rid of the effect from the Glaceon and make sure we can attack that Glaceon with our Raichu. Then 1 Super Route to shuffle back Pokemon into our deck. Very needed in this deck because we only have 4 Raichus, so we will need to shuffle some back near the end of the game to make sure we can get out some more Raichus if 4 Raichus got knocked out. Then 1 Special Charge to shuffle back our DCEs into our deck, and then that is about it for this deck analysis. I think quite a long deck analysis, but it is a very odd and very silly deck idea, so it needed quite a bit of explanation in my opinion. I am going to find myself some opponents in the versus ladder right now. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoy the upcoming battles. It is always much appreciated, and I'll see you in the battles in a moment. Laminadon 1, 2, 3, 4 challenges to a battle with Colorless, Darkness, Dragon, and a Psychic deck. So that is 100% likely Darkrai, a Giratina, a Garbodor. There is no surprise here for us. We do start off with our Shaymin, which is not good. So we will probably Ultra Ball away the Lysander and whatever else we top deck. Grab ourselves another Shaymin maybe. We are also going to Level Ball for a Pikachu for sure. There's the Ultra Ball from my opponent. Going to go for a Hoopa here. Hoopa for Giratina most likely. Yes, there's the Hoopa indeed. It would have been nice to go first against my opponent's deck for sure, because going second here is a big disadvantage for us. We need to evolve, and that takes a turn for us, while my opponent can actually really attack already in his next turn. We do see the Darkrai come down, the Giratina, and then maybe a Shaymin if my opponent has a Shaymin in hand. An energy on the Darkrai and a Max Elixir. We are going to put 200 damage on the board if we can get our Raichu going. That's amazing, just with a single Thunderclap. Floatstone on the Darkrai, and there it is. There is the pass of the turn already. We could Delinquent if we find ourselves a Stadium. Let's see here. We will discard the Lysander and the Delinquent. I can maybe find a VS Seeker or something. We'll grab ourselves a Shaymin, or maybe the Yveltal actually. Well, let's see. I'm gonna grab the Yveltal, I think, and then will I go for the N? No, I don't think I want to go for an N. I'm just gonna grab a Shaymin, because my opponent might be stuck with a bad hand. I don't know why he would just keep a Sycamore in hand or something like that. So we will get out our Pikachu. We will attach DCE to our Pikachu for sure. Just don't want to see a Lysander on it. And then we will Shaymin for a couple more cards. We need to get our Thunderclap going in the next turn. That's all we really need to do. And from there on out, we should be golden, I think. Another Ultra Ball. Alright. I could Shaymin again, maybe. Do I want to Shaymin again? I might just discard the DCE here and an N. Grab myself a Shaymin. Yes. And hopefully we can find another Pikachu. Still don't want to N. just want to Sycamore if I can. So we will Shaymin again for 3 more cards. Could have discarded both N and kept the DCE. But, ooh, Smeargle. Alright, can we find a level ball here? Level ball, fantastic, that is what I wanted to see. So we can level ball for a Pikachu, then put the XP share on our Pikachu, then maybe play down our Smeargle. But we have the lightning energy right here, so maybe not actually. And then I think I will leave it at this. I could Lysander right here, and I think I will Lysander the Hoopa, try to stall for a little bit here. Or maybe even the Giratina, so my opponent might be forced to put a Floatstone on the Giratina instead of a Fighting Fury Belt. So let's Lysander the Giratina and let's end our turn. In the next turn, we will end and we will maybe not play down our Smeargle. There is a Sycamore. Oh my goodness, my opponents must have top decked that Sycamore then. Discards a Lysander. There's a Fighting Fury Belt on the Darkrai on the bench. A Max Elixir as well. Onto the Darkrai with the Floatstone. Another Max Elixir. Oh ho ho! Pretty scary here. An energy on the Giratina and a pass on the turn. Oh my goodness, that was very scary. We find our special charge. We don't really need that at the moment. We'll put the energy on our Pikachu. We will not play down our Smeargle. I'm simply going to end. I'm looking for a Floatstone and a Raichu, Thunderclap Raichu. There's another Pikachu. There's our Floatstone, but well, let's Floatstone. Do we Floatstone the Shaymin? Maybe not. I am simply going to pass my turn again. Hopefully our Shaymin does not go down. That's my biggest fear here. But I really don't want to sacrifice a Pikachu either. We do see an energy there. And then maybe just a Floatstone or an Escape Rope, or maybe just a pass of the turn, please. Oh, and it's a pass of the turn. Amazing. We bought ourselves a turn. Let's put the DCE on the Pikachu here on the bench. Then let's Floatstone our Shaymin. Let's use our special charge. We are not going to end here. We are simply going to Sycamore our hand away. Try to find ourselves our Raichu. There's our Thunderclap Raichu and our Circle Circuit Raichu as well. But the Thunderclap Raichu is really all we need. We also get another XP share. We get a Trainer's Mail. What can we get from Trainer's Mail? Sky Fields. Do we need it? Yes, we do need it actually. We will play down our Pikachu on the bench here. And then if my opponent counters the stadium, we can get rid of one of our Shaymins. That is always very nice to do. So let's retreat into our Thunderclap Raichu. We do have this Darkest Energy, which we might have to discard. And we'll hit for the Thunderclap for 200 across the board. Pretty scary here for my opponent. If he can hit again in the next turn, we will have 400 damage on the board total that we can move around with our Spiritomb if we can get out our Spiritomb at some point. We do see a Lysander on our Shaymin. My opponent is going to knock out our Shaymin, which is pretty risky for my opponent's Fighting Fury Belt. Now we cannot attach DCE. It is okay for me. I only need to get out my Spiritomb. That's the only thing I need to do here. And a pause onto our turn. Oh my goodness. Does not have the double dragon energy. We will evolve into our Raichu here. We will attach the energy to our Shaymin to retreat our Shaymin. And we will Sycamore our hand away. We are going to hit for the Thunderclap. Again, can we find our Spiritomb? Is it in our deck even? There's another Thunderclap Raichu. And we also got the Escape Rope. My discards 2 energies here. I think I will. I'm going to look for my Spiritomb so we can attach an energy to our Spiritomb in the next turn. There's our Spiritomb. Fantastic. Can we use it? That's the big question. Will my opponent concede before we use it? I hope he does not concede. I want to see this Spiritomb in action here. So let's hit for the Thunderclap shot again for 200 more damage on the board. And if we can hit for 200 more at some point, then we can definitely move all of the damage around so that we can get a knockout on 3 EXs from our opponent. There's an energy on the Giratina, retreat into the Darkrai. I might just move all the damage onto the Darkrai here. We will preserve this energy onto our Raichu. We will put an energy onto our Spiritomb. And that is basically GG here. I think we've got the game. All we need to do is move the damage around in the next turn with our Spiritomb. If my opponent knocks out our Spiritomb, we can simply hit with the Raichu for a KO on the Darkrai here, for a KO on the Hoopa, and for a KO not on the Giratina. That's a bummer. So let's Sycamore our hand away, bring ourselves down to 4 cards. Do we have our last Darkness Energy, and we do. We even have XP share and a Super Rod, so I can get out my Smeargle here. We're going to shuffle back the Smeargle, Pikachu, and an energy, maybe actually just the Darkness Energy. Then we are going to level ball for our Smeargle. Wow, this is amazing. Please let us have this. Please let the Spiritomb be useful here. Do not concede, I beg you. Will we counter the stadium? Yes, we will counter the stadium. So we can get rid of 2 of our Shaymins. Bye bye Shaymin, and bye bye Shaymin. And then it is time to hit with the Thunderclap shot for a ton of damage here. Thunderclap shot for 50 across the board again. That is 600 damage right there. All we need to do is move 150 damage from the active Darkrai to the bench Pokemon. 20 on the Hoopa, 20 on the Darkrai. No, there's a Fine Fur Belt and a Sycamore. Alright. Can we do it here? Can we do it? Or we can move them to the Trubbish as well, and maybe to the Darkrai here. Trubbish and Darkrai together have 180 HP. We do see a Trainer's Mail. Alrighty. He's not conceding yet. Please, please, let us have it. There's a Garbodor. And a Super Rod. Super Rod for the Giratina, the Darkness Energy, and the Darkness Energy. And a knockout on our Raichu. That is it. I think we have got the game. We will preserve this energy onto our Pikachu on the bench. And then we shall promote our Spiritomb. Or actually maybe our Raichu. So we always still have a choice here, because Raichu has got free retreat. We will attach the Darkness Energy. We will retreat into our Spiritomb. And now it is time to damage play. Move all the damage around. We are going to... well, we still need to deal with the active Darkrai. We are going to move some damage from the Hoopa onto the Darkrai on the bench there. Let's move 20 or 10 more on that Darkrai. Then that Darkrai is knocked out, so we will now start moving damage onto the Giratina. We need to move 60 more onto the Giratina, I think. Yes, I'm pretty sure it's 60 more. And that is going to take a while here, so I might just fast forward a little bit. Oh, I forgot to put 10 on the Darkrai, I just noticed, so very good. Let's leave it at that, I think. Yes, alright. We will click done, give ourselves 4 prizes here with our Spiritomb. What can we get? A Raichu, Thunderclap, and a DCE, and down goes another Darkrai, and we get ourselves an Escape Rope and an Ultra Ball. Fantastic, so we can power up another Raichu here. And I think that is definitely it then. We do see an energy on the Darkrai on the bench, and an end from our opponent is going to end us back down to 2 cards. Hopefully we can find something useful for the next turn. Just a DCE maybe for our Raichu. There's a DCE and there's our Trainer's Mail, and that is GG then. Dark Pulse for the KO on our Spiritomb. We will preserve the energy, the lightning energy on the Pikachu on the bench here. We will promote our Raichu, which hits for 60 at the moment. So we need to find ourselves another Pokemon to bench. Do we have another Pokemon to bench? I wonder. We could also Escape Rope. And I could find that Pikachu possibly. So let's go for the N. Yes, alright. After I Escape Rope maybe, or... No, I'll leave the Escape Rope in my deck. I'm simply going to end a DC and a Pikachu. That is it. We found our Pikachu. We are hitting for 80 damage. GG, Darkrai, Giratina, Garbodor deck. We dealt way too much damage to you. Down goes the Darkrai, and just like that we took the game in 2 turns. We moved our energies around, or our damage, with our Spiritomb, and then we knocked out that Darkrai with our Raichu. I kind of forgot there, to be honest, I kind of forgot that we couldn't move the damage from the active Darkrai onto the bench. That was kind of awkward there, but it still played out nicely in the end. So let's take a look at the stats. We dealt 680 damage, my opponent dealt 350 to us. Raichu MVP versus Darkrai EX. Alright, let's find ourselves another opponent. Charizard Bolado challenges us to a battle with his Metal, Psychic and Fighting deck. I believe this is the Stage 1 Lucario from Fates Collide, which is a very bad matchup for us. There is very little hope for us here, unless we can maybe get our Yveltal EX going and leave it as the one and only Pokemon in the EX spot, which we might be able to do here. We have our Ultra Ball, we have a Darkness Energy for our Yveltal, and we have our DCE. So that is basically all we need for our Yveltal. My opponent does go first, and we have to reshuffle our hands, so never mind there. I didn't see we didn't have a basic. We do start off with a Smeargle. Yucky. Don't really like starting off with Smeargle. We do have our Floatstone, but now that Smeargle is stuck in play, we cannot remove it unless my opponent knocks it out. So I kind of want my opponent to knock out our Smeargle here. Can we find an Ultra Ball and then Ultra Ball for our Yveltal? Then maybe also find an energy from the N. Would be nice to delinquent my opponents at some point. If he plays his hand down to 3 cards, we can delinquent him and punish him for leaving himself with 3 cards in his hands. 2 unknowns down the discard pile already. He must not have the best of hands then, maybe. Or maybe he's just looking through his deck a little bit, and then if he cannot get anything here, he might decide to go for an N or something. We see him discard an Assault Vest. Alright, so he does play Assault Vest. Maybe he does not play XP Share then, but I would be quite surprised if he did not. So he discards 2 Metal Energies there with his Ultra Ball. Is going to grab the Riolu to then evolve into the Lucario at some point. Oh, actually grabs the Unknown. Maybe he's got the Riolu in hand. I wonder why he grabs the Unknown. There's a Super Rod. Is going to shuffle back the Unknown. Or the other unknowns, maybe an energy as well. Yes, an energy as well, because he did only have 2 unknowns in a discard pile. A Farewell Letter, so he must be stuck with a really bad hands. Maybe he's got all of his evolutions in hands, all of his 4 Lucarios. An N, alright, was waiting for the N after all, or to use the N. So we will hopefully find ourselves an Ultra Ball here. A Pikachu, a DCE, not really what I was hoping for. There's the Riolu and the energy, and then maybe just a pass of the turn. Yes, alright, pass of the turn. We get an Ultra Ball, fantastic. Let's discard our Raichu, Thunderclap Raichu. Let's discard, or maybe actually the Pikachu and the Thunderclap Raichu. We are going to grab ourselves our Yveltal here. Yveltal is going to be the big bad boy that we need to deal with my opponent's Riolu deck. Let's attach the DCE, let's Super Rod back the Pikachu and Raichu, and then let's go for that Sycamore. That way my opponent cannot target whistle our Raichu. We need to watch out for a Pokepuff though. Pikachu, Delinquent, alright, Skyfield. I'll leave it at this. I cannot do anything else really. Anyways, we are kinda in need of a Darkest Energy for the next turn, so we can attack with our Yveltal. My opponent plays probably 2 energies on the stage 1 Lucario, which is 2 energies plus our 3 energies is 100 plus 20 is 120 damage. That's a knockout on the stage 1 Lucario. So all we need is that Darkness Energy. If my opponent attaches another Metal Energy himself, there is the stage 1 Lucario, and yes, he does only need 1 more energy. There's the energy already, and a Sycamore. Alright, discarding a Riolu, discarding an energy. That's kind of dangerous, discarding that Riolu. Does play down another unknown for a Farewell Letter. We won't see a Lysander this turn, which is good. And a switch into that Lucario as well as Trainer's Mail. Alright, which means I am going to Sycamore my hand away. A VS Seeker, okie dokie. A VS Seeker for the next turn for maybe another Sycamore. There goes the unknown. So now my opponent hits for 90 damage against our Smeargle. Find Alone for 90 damage indeed. All we need to do is knock out this here Lucario and we are golden. We take the game, so that is why it was dangerous for my opponent to leave that or to discard that Riolu. We find ourselves a Sycamore. Let's do we play down our stadium? No, not necessary. I will play down my Pikachu. Maybe not. Let's just discard our entire hand. Yes, if we can find some Ultra Balls, I will find myself some Shaymins. We just need to find our Darkest Energy, and there's our Darkest Energy. That is it. A GG to my opponents. Evil Ball for the knockout on this Lucario for 120 damage. Wow, this could have gone much worse for us, but we found our evil ball, or our evil tall, in time for the evil ball for the KO. So let's have a quick look at the stats. 120 damage dealt versus 90. Evil tall EX MVP versus Lucario. Alright, let's find ourselves another opponent. Surfside 6 is challenging us to a battle with the colorless Water Dragon and a Psyche deck. Okay, well, I am kind of baffled here. I have no clue whatsoever my opponent could be playing. Dragon and Water, or Dragon and colorless. Maybe even just Dragon and Psychic. I don't know what to expect there. I don't really know. It could be maybe Mega Rayquaza with a Dragon Pokemon in there. But then what is the Water? Maybe the Water is Octillery. My opponent is playing Octillery and Shaymin. And then attacking with Dragon Pokemon and Hoopa as support. Something like that, I guess, could be it. We do start off with 2 mulligans. Oh boy, and there's our Pikachu. Alright, no more mulligans. We do start with our Pikachu, and we have the Evil Tall as well. So let's play down the Pikachu here and the Evil Tall, and then let's pause the turn to my opponent, see what my opponent is playing, because I'm curious. My opponent tickled my curiosity for sure. What are we up against? We do see the Remoraid, we do see the colorless Rayquaza, so maybe this colorless Mega Rayquaza. Kinda odd to see the Remoraid there. Ooh, and a Hydreigon. What is that Hydreigon doing there? Huh? I am not sure. Colorless Rayquaza with Hydreigon. Interesting. There's a Floatstone on the Remoraid. Alright, so no Lysander stall for us. No Lysander on the Octillery. There's no points because of the Floatstone that my opponent attached. Fire Energy on the Rayquaza EX and a pause onto our turn. Alright. So the Rayquaza could knock us out in the next turn. If he finds a DCE, we will play down our Faded Town. I think I'm going to Sycamore. Don't really want to play down my Shaymin. I think I'll just Sycamore here. Attach the energy to my Pikachu. And we will Sycamore our Hanoi. Draw 7 new cards. Could have gone for the N, but I want to draw as many cards as I can. And there we do find a Pikachu, so I'm happy I Sycamored. We even find an XP share. So let's hit for the Nuzzle here. Nuzzle, do we flip heads? And yes, oh my goodness, it is heads. That is nice. My opponent could find a Spirit Link and a Mega Rayquaza, and then he could knock us out if he finds DCE for sure. But at least we have this slight sliver of hope of staying alive thanks to the Nuzzle. Spirit Link, alright, there's a Spirit Link already. So we will Thunderclap Shot that Raichu or that Rayquaza in the next turn for 100 damage. Because the Thunderclap does hit for weakness against the active Pokemon, and then 50 on the Hydreigon on the bench. We do see an Ultra Ball from our opponent, discarding Pokemon Ranger and something else. Grabbing himself, maybe the Mega Rayquaza. No, it is the Octillery. Alright, that's good. Can he find the Mega Rayquaza from the Octillery? And now that I think about it, he's probably playing the Dragon Mega Rayquaza. Yes, that must be it. Alright, I think he's playing the Dragon Mega Rayquaza deck. So even if he finds that Mega Rayquaza, we should stay alive, because Dragon Mega Rayquaza needs 5 energies to attack us, and he doesn't even find it. Alright, let's evolve into our Thunderclap Raichu. Let's evolve into our Circle Circuit Raichu as well. After we attach an energy here, then let's go for the end. I don't want to Sycamore this time, because I really want to preserve that last Faded Town for when my opponent gets out the Mega Rayquaza. Because I've got a feeling we might see a counter stadium very soon. Another Pikachu, fantastic. And we find our Faded Town and our Sky Field. Oh my goodness, all of our stadiums right there. An XP share onto our Pikachu, and we will hit for the Thunderclap Shot for 150 to the bench. If my opponent cannot find the Dragon Mega Rayquaza, we will knock out this here Rayquaza EX in the next turn, which is amazing. And we will continue to put 50 to the benched EX Pokemon. Hopefully my opponent finds more or benches more EX Pokemon. That is kind of what I'm hoping to see here, and I think he will. And there is the Dragon Rayquaza EX. Alright, that's another EX we will do damage to. And oh my goodness, even a Giratina EX. Wow, so we will hit for 100 to the active here, and then 150 to the bench. That is 250 damage in total, just for 2 energies. There's a Lysander on our Evil Tall EX, so he's going to hit our Evil Tall for 60 with the Colorless Rayquaza. If you are wondering, he's probably playing the Colorless Rayquaza in addition to the Dragon Rayquaza, simply because this Colorless Rayquaza has the Intensifying Burn attack and can hit for 60 for just a single energy against EX decks, and EX decks are very prevalent prevalent at the moment. Lots of people are playing them. Did counter our stadium here with the Shrine of Memories, so we will counter it back with our Skyfield, I think. Yes, I think we will do that. Then we might find ourselves a Shaymin or something, so we can Shaymin, try to find ourselves a Floatstone for our Evil Tall. And then possibly my opponent will counter again, and we might be able to discard that Shaymin then. So let's counter with the Skyfield. Let's attach the Lightning Energy to our Pikachu. Let's go for an N. Hopefully we can. Oh no! Oh no! No, please no! Don't freeze! Oh no! Come on, PTCGO! Let's pray to the PTCGO gods here. Please do not freeze. Oh, there we go. Alright, I was pooping my pants there for a moment. Alright, let's Sphere Seeker for our N. Not gonna Sycamore. Want to keep the stadium again. So let's N. Let's hopefully find ourselves our Floatstone. Or if not, a Shaymin. There's our Shaymin. Alright, no Floatstone. So we will, let's play down our Smeargle, I think. Then let's discard a DCE and a Sycamore. Because we cannot use the Sycamore this turn anymore anyways. Let's grab ourselves, maybe another Raichu. So we have a backup Raichu. Yes, alright. Was thinking about getting the Spiritomb there, but it's a little bit too early. So let's evolve into our Raichu. Then let's Shaymin for 5 cards. And let's get our fingers crossed, or let's keep our fingers crossed here. Can we find our Floatstone or our Escape Rope? Preferably our Floatstone. And yes, there's our Floatstone. Amazing. And we get another Pikachu. So if my opponent counters the stadium, we can get rid of our Shaymin. Ideal here. So let's retreat into our Thunderclap Raichu. Let's hit for the knockout. Take the first 2 prizes. Let's put 150 to the bench. And then let's see, what can my opponent do? Can he get out his Mega Rayquaza? He needs to get it out right now if he wants to stand a chance at taking this game. That much is for sure. And we have 4 Pikachus, or nearly 4 Raichus ready to go here. So, I think it might even be a little bit too late already. We do see the Remoraid come up. Does that mean he does not have a Spirit Link or anything? Bashes another Rayquaza EX. Amazing. Now we will do 200 damage to the bench. There is the Dragon Energy on the Rayquaza. Alright. Trainer's Mail. Could find a Spirit Link right here. Or maybe an Ultra Ball for the Mega Rayquaza. And then just pause the turn by Mega Evolving. That could be a possibility as well. There's a switch. Alright. So now my opponent has a switch for the next turn. Don't really mind that my opponent has that switch. We might want my opponent to knock us out in the next turn if he counters the stadium, because I would love to get out my Spiritomb here, but if he counters the stadium, we will not have bench space for our Spiritomb. So let's hope he does not counter the stadium, then we can level ball for our Spiritomb. So we do see a Sycamore discarding that switch. There goes the switch. And, oh, what happened here? The screen is stuck. No, please. Oh no. I glitched the game, or the game glitched me. Let's click that. Nope, doesn't work. Alright. Please don't tell me we will lose the game because of this glitch. Can we still use our cards? That's the big question. I hope we can. That we might still be able to play out this game. We will not be able to look at my opponent's discard pile. I don't think we can look at our own discard pile anymore either, which is unfortunate. But as long as we can still play this game, I will continue. There's a counter stadium, so we will not be able to get out our Spiritomb. That's a little bit of a bummer. Would have loved to gotten it out right there, because we are putting lots of damage on the bench, so we can use our Spiritomb very soon to knock out 2 EX Pokémon with the damage play attack. But now that is not going to happen, because we cannot get it out. So I actually want my opponent to knock out our Raichu in the next turn, so we can free up some bench space for a Spiritomb. Let's take a look at our Trainer's Mail. We can use our cards, which is fantastic. Let's grab a Sycamore, I think, for draw support. We don't have any other draw support in our hands. Then let's take a look at the other Trainer's Mail. What do we find? Ooh, Delinquent. That's interesting. We could get rid of my opponent's stadium here with our Delinquent, and I think I will. Yes, we will Delinquent it away, and then force my opponent to discard some more cards. We don't really need to Sycamore in this turn. Let's grab ourselves that Raichu there. Evolve into another Raichu. I might as well attach the DCE to my Raichu. So we have another Raichu ready to go. Or nearly ready to go. And then it is time to Delinquent. What is my opponent going to discard? Bye-bye, Shrine of Memories. Don't want my opponent to use that Shrine of Memories in the next turn to hit for a Dragon Strike from the basic Rayquaza EX. I want to force my opponent to use the attack from the Mega Rayquaza and discard 2 energies. So we hit for 200 more damage there. Yes, discard 2 energies with the Dragon Ascend attack, which is kind of what I'm hoping for here. Ooh, Escape Rope. Yes, alright, we will see a knockout. I will promote my Circle Raichu, I think. Yes, I think I'll do that. It's the least useful Pokemon for us right now. The Thunderclap or the Thunderclap Shot Raichus are fantastic for us. We need to preserve them, and we will actually be able to do that right here because my opponent Escape Roped. Then we do see the Octillery Abyssal Hand for 2 cards. Can he find the Double Dragon Energy? If not, can he find a Fire Energy and the Stadium? And then he can heal us for the Dragon Strike. But that would be a worst case scenario for us. And it doesn't look like... Oh, there's a puzzle. Ooh. Is he playing 2 puzzles or is he playing the single puzzle? That's always the big question where our opponent plays down a puzzle on a PTCGO. And I think he's playing 2 puzzles here. Because he's taking a little bit of time, so I think he's looking at his discard pile, which we cannot look at ourselves because we are glitched. But he's looking at his discard pile and he's probably grabbing the Stadium, if I were to guess, and maybe an Energy, or maybe a Transporter, and there's a Sycamore and a Stadium. Alright. So bye bye puzzles, welcome Stadium, and then will we see the Sycamore? I think we'll see the Sycamore. It would be kind of weird for him to grab the Sycamore and then not use it. That would be kind of odd. But we will maybe just see an energy attachment first, because I'm still expecting to see the energy. Probably just a fire energy if I were to guess. Yes, there's a fire energy. Alright, so now my opponent can knock us out. And then we will see the Sycamore. There's a Sycamore. This guy, ooh, this guy, what? A DCE? What does he use DCEs for? The Dragon Mega Rayquaza does not really work with DCEs, or does not really work too well. Maybe just for the colorless Rayquaza, I guess. We do see a Mega Turbo onto the Dragon Mega Rayquaza, and then we will see the Dragon Strike for 300. No. Oh no, I was confused there. It's a Dragon Strike for 130. It's not the attack from the Mega Rayquaza. Yes, alright. 130 damage on our Raichu. And there's our Spiritomb, so we don't need to use our Ultra Balls to get out our Spiritomb. Let's Sycamore our hand away then. And let's see, we could have licensed a Remoraid maybe, but I kind of want to Sycamore. We find an XP share for our Spiritomb. Excellent. If our Raichu goes down, we can move the Darkness Energy to our Spiritomb. Let's take a look at the Transmail. Oh yes, Faded Town, amazing. Let's put 20 more damage on the Dragon Mega Rayquaza each turn. And then let's put DCE onto our Spiritomb so we can attack in the next turn with our Spiritomb for damage play. And then let's put 50 on the bench and 30 on the active. Down goes the Hydreigon, so all we need to do in the next turn is attack with our Spiritomb for the damage play attack, move some damage from the Rayquaza on the bench to the Hoopa or vice versa, and we have taken the game. So my opponent's best bet here is to license out our Spiritomb and knock it out. If he does not do that, I think we have the game. Even if he does not knock out our Raichu, we can attach a Lightning to our Spiritomb, switch into our Spiritomb then, or retreat into our Spiritomb, and switch out the Lightning for the Darkness from our discard pile. So we have the game that way with our Spiritomb then. If my opponent decides to avoid to knock out our Raichu, so we cannot move the Darkness from the Raichu to the Spiritomb. So yes, we have the game unless we see a Lysander on our Spiritomb. And I don't think we will. Did my opponent just use a Sycamore? I was too busy talking. There is 300 damage. Oh my goodness. Overkilled much. Wow, 300 damage on our Raichu. Poor Raichu. A rip Raichu for sure. Let's move the Lightning to our Raichu on the bench. And then let's promote our Spiritomb. This is gonna be it. This is how the deck is supposed to work. Let's Spiritomb for the win. Amazing stuff. I cannot believe we are pulling this off. Damage play for the win. Let's move some damage to our Hoopa. Alright, I think I'll speed this up a little bit here because this is gonna take a little while. Ten more damage to go, and there is the knockout. Alright, now we just need to click done here. And oh no, are you kidding me? The glitch prevents us from ending our turn. Well, let's move some more damage then. Maybe it will stop our turn if we move all the damage from one Pokemon to another. Oh my goodness. Are we still going to lose this game just due to this glitch because we cannot end our turn? And what's going on with the Hoopa? The Hoopa, what is it doing? It's moving clockwise. Oh, that's so funny. Oh no, we cannot end our turn. Oh no, I think I'll have to let my opponent know that we will lose the game due to a glitch here, because this is a little bit ridiculous. Oh, are you kidding me? Well, that's it then. Oh no, maybe not. We can just let time count down, can we not? We can just let the timer come up and then the timer will end our turn. I think we can use that mechanism here to still win the game. Yes, alright, I'll make a little cut here until the timer appears and then we should win the game. And there it is, the timer has appeared. Alright, I was so scared that we would not see it, that I would just still lose the game, but there it is. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Please pause our turn. Yes, there it is. Alright, we got the knockout. Amazing. Oh, such relief. The glitch did not prevent us from taking the game there. Wow, this game sometimes it's super nerve-wracking. Let's take a look at the stats. 760 damage dealt versus 490 from my opponent. Our biggest attack is 100 damage versus 300 from my opponent. And Raichu MVP versus Mega Rayquaza EX. Alright, let's find ourselves another opponent. Diamond313 challenges to a battle with a fire and a water deck. We win the coin flip. Excellent stuff. We will go first for sure. We could be up against Volcanion-EX without Shaymin. That's still a good matchup because Volcanion-EX is an EX Pokemon. We do start off with our Yveltal here. Although I have a feeling it might not be Volcanion-EX. Maybe it is just Octillery with a fire Pokemon, fire attacker. Ooh, Evo Soda. Yes, I think that's a good sign, or I think that's an indicator that we are not up against Volcanion-EX. Why would someone with a Volcanion deck run an Evo Soda? So I think maybe Delphox Break with Octillery, or what else could it be? I'm not sure. Delphox Break is the only fire Pokemon that comes to mind at the moment, which evolves. So let's see, we'll know soon enough here. My opponent did find 2 basic Pokemon. We will take a look at our Transmail first of all, I think. Let's draw another card here from the mulligan from my opponent. This is a Sycamore, excellent. Ooh, Numel and Remoraid. Alright, interesting. We find ourselves a level ball here. We are going to level ball for our Pikachu, I think. Could grab a Smeargle, but I think Pikachu is more important because we need a backup attacker for sure, ready to go. Then we will take a look at our second Transmail here. What can we find? A Delinquent and a VS Seeker. Alright, I'm gonna grab the Delinquent. We might as well discard the Delinquent with our Ultra Ball here, as well as our Sycamore, and grab ourselves a Shaymin, I think, so we can draw some extra cards. Maybe I will even discard some more cards with the other Ultra Ball and grab another Shaymin. Yeah, so let's grab a Shaymin here, and then we'll discard another VS Seeker and the special charge with our Ultra Ball. Grab ourselves another Shaymin. Kinda want to keep the Raichu in my hand to evolve in the next turn. So let's grab that second Shaymin, then let's play down our first Shaymin for 4 more cards. Can we find an energy? That's all I'm looking for. An energy. Maybe a Darkness energy would be nice. So we can attack with our Yveltal in the next turn, possibly. There's a DCE. Let's put the DCE on our Yveltal EX. Then let's see here. I think I'll actually Sycamore. Discard my hand. Discard the Shaymin. Don't really want a Shaymin for 2 cards. Don't really want to N, because I kind of want to discard Hex Maniac there. So we will Sycamore our hand away, and we get Skyfields, VS Seeker, a couple of Raichus. Not the best of hands, so let's pass the turn to my opponent here and see what he does. What is he playing? Numel with Camerupt with Flareon EX maybe. We do see an Ultra Ball. We could see my opponent's main attacker right here from this Ultra Ball. And it is Flareon EX, alright. We quickly saw it there. I'm not sure how we are going to do against Flareon EX. It's only a couple, 1 or 2 EX Pokemon that my opponent will bench, so that is not the most easy match for us. There's a pass on to our turn, alright. We get, we don't get a Darkest Energy. I think I will actually Delinquent here because my opponent left himself with just 1 card in his hand. So we'll play down our Stadium. We will VS Seeker for our Delinquent that we discarded earlier. And we are going to get rid of that 1 card in my opponent's hand. Would be awesome if it is an Octillery. That would be amazing. Then my opponent is left with no cards in his hand to draw anymore. So what is it? What is the card that my opponent is holding on to for his dear life? Ooh, a level ball! It was actually his one out to an auxiliary. We forced him to discard his auxiliary there, basically. That's amazing. So let's pause the turn here and let's see, can he top deck something? If not, I don't think I will end. I'll just pause the turn back. Ooh, Trainer's Mail. So let's take a look at Trainer's Mail first of all. We find ourselves a Sycamore, excellent. We are going to discard our hand here. I'm not going to attach the Lightning Energy if we can Sycamore. We are going to try to find ourselves a Darkness Energy. If we can do that, we are so lucky. And there is our Darkness Energy, amazing stuff. So let's attach that. Let's hit for the KO here on this normal after we play down our Pikachu. And we will Evil Ball for 120 damage right there. In the next turn we can hit for 140 against the Flareon. The Flareon should not be able to power itself up in the next turn. And there is a concede, amazing, wow, I cannot believe that. Our clutch Yveltal, that's ridiculous. That was a ridiculous game right there. Our Delinquent basically stole that game for us because we forced my opponent to discard the auxiliary. I feel kind of bad for my opponent, but at the same time, you've got to admit, that was pretty awesome. So let's find ourselves another opponent. And our next opponent is going to be Beaster with a Colorless and a Psychic deck. I would guess that this is gonna be Mega Mewtwo. That seems the most likely option here, but you never know, it might be something entirely different. Oh, we won the coin flip, amazing, I love it. Alright, let's go first. Let's see here what we can pull off against this potentially Mega Mewtwo deck. We do start off with our Shaymin, which is not so good. We won the coin flip, but then we start off with our Shaymin, so that's a little bit sad to see, but it is what it is. We are going to probably a level ball for a Pikachu, and then maybe Ultra Ball as well, Ultra Ball for another Pikachu. I think maybe discard that Darkness Energy. Ooh, Rayquaza, that's interesting, so let's level ball. Let's grab ourselves a Pikachu. Only 3 Pikachus in our deck, so 1 Pikachu is prized. Then we will Ultra Ball away the Darkest Energy and the Smeargle, I think. We can always Super Roll it back later on. So let's go for the Darkness and the Smeargle. Let's then grab ourselves another Pikachu, not Raichu, a Pikachu. Alright, I was too quick there. Let's play down the Pikachu. Let's attach DCE to one of these Pikachus and then let's go for the N. Alrighty. Let's see, can we find ourselves an XP share, another Pikachu? We find the XP share, another Pikachu. We do have a Lightning Energy and the Raichu, so we can completely power up our Raichu in the next turn. And let's end our turn here, there's nothing else we can do. What is my opponent going to be able to do here? He could knock out our Shaymin. Oh no, Crushing Hammer, what the heck? He plays, oh, it's a Tails, fantastic. He plays Crushing Hammer in a Rayquaza deck. That is kinda interesting. Alright, I've never really seen that before. An Acrobike discarding a Mega Turbo, fantastic. Alright, that reduces his chances. What, a Trubbish? He plays Trubbish in a Rayquaza deck as well, and there's a Hoopa for some Shaymins and some Rayquazas. So he can knock out our Shaymin here if he finds a Spirit Link, if he finds a way to discard an energy, if he finds a Mega Turbo, and if he finds the Mega Rayquaza, and of course enough Pokemon on his bench to knock out our Shaymin with the Emerald Break attack. Yeah, we do see Shaymin for 1 card only. That is a bit mediocre there. I think my opponent would have loved to see the Shaymin for 3 or 4 cards instead, but he did go for it. There's an Acrobike discarding that energy, so alright, now he needs his Mega Turbo. Plays down Skyfield. Luckily for us, he already discarded 1 Mega Turbo there. So that should reduce his chances of finding another Mega Turbo, a Trainer's Mail. He is playing down lots of EXs though, that is good for us. Right now we are hitting for 250 damage. No, not another Crushing Hammer, please be a Tails. I really don't want to see our energy get discarded. Crushing Hammer it is, and oh no, no. Ah, bummer. Okay, well, it is what it is. It was a heads. There goes our DCE. So now we need to wait another turn before we can attack. There's no way we can power up our Raichu for a Thunderclap shot in the next turn. We could maybe go for the Circle Circuit Raichu, but I think it might be prized. And try to one-shot the Mega Rayquaza that way. We do see a Hoopa, so he's going to bench even more EX Pokemon. Is he really going to fill up his bench with all EX Pokemon? That will be 7 EXs on the bench, then the Rayquaza in the EX spot. 7 times 50 is 350 plus 100 to the active is 450 damage with just our Thunderclap Raichu. We do see him bench a Rayquaza and a Shaymin for 3 cards. Can he find the Spirit Link? Can he find the Mega Rayquaza? Trainer's Mail could find the Spirit Link right here. And there's the Spirit Link, alright. So he probably has the Mega Rayquaza in hand, if I were to guess. Yes, there it is. And then, does he have the Mega Turbo? That's the big question here. We know he has another Shaymin, so he can Shaymin for 3 more cards. There is a Shaymin for 3 more cards. Can he find himself maybe the Mega Turbo or a Draw Supporter? Because he hasn't used a Draw Supporter yet, as we see from the discard pile. Or as we saw from the discard pile. And it doesn't look like he found either, because he's not really using a Mega Turbo or using a supporter at the moment. An Acrobike. This is going to be important. Discards Mega Rayquaza. That is the second Mega Rayquaza in the discard pile. Yes, it is. Alright. And a Floatstone on the Trubbish. Interesting, interesting. Hammers, Garbodor. All of that in a Mega Rayquaza deck. Wow. I am quite surprised. Taken by surprise. There is a pass onto our turn, so we stay alive. Let's put the energy on our Pikachu. Do we evolve? I think we will. Could have gone for a Nuzzle there against the Mega Rayquaza. Maybe I should have done that instead. But if it was a Tails, our Pikachu would have gone down. So I think I much prefer to keep the Pikachu alive. We get... Ooh, that's not a very good hand from the N. Would have loved to see another Pikachu here. Or another XP share and a Pikachu. Let's evolve into our Raichu. And then let's see. Do we escape rope? No, we will not. Because my opponent has a Trubbish with the Flowstone. So let's end our turn here. And let's see, can my opponent knock us out? Most likely he will. I would be very surprised if he would not knock us out. So all he needs is a Psychic Energy. There's a Mega Turbo for the energy. Actually uses a Mega Turbo, which is good. So does not attach from his hand. Instead uses the Mega Turbo. Could still attach a DCE here maybe to the bench then. There's Garbodor, so now we cannot use our Shaymins. We need to rely on our Draw Supporters from here on out. Not the best of starts for us against this Mega Rayquaza deck. This should be a fantastic matchup for us. But we are a little bit slow here, starting off an Acrobike, discarding another energy. We did see the DCE to the benched Rayquaza before my opponent used the Acrobike. So he can power up another Mega Rayquaza in the next turn if he can find the puzzles or the pieces of the puzzle, because he did discard some Mega Rayquazas. And down goes our Shaymin for 240 damage. Bye bye Shaymin. We will not see you anymore this game, I think. So let's put this Darkness Energy on our Raichu, I think. And then there's our Shaymin. That's a little bit too late. Then let's go for the N. Hopefully we can find maybe our Spiritomb and an XP share. That would be fantastic, because all we really need to do is hit twice with a Thunderclap shot, and then we can move the damage around with our Spiritomb. We don't find the XP share, we don't find the Spiritomb, we do find an Ultra Ball. I think I'll Ultra Ball away the Sky Field and Lightning Energy, because we will move the Lightning from the Raichu if he gets knocked out to the Raichu on the bench. Let's grab ourselves our Spiritomb here. Let's play it down, and then let's hit for the Thunderclap shot for a ton of damage here. 450 damage in total. Look at that. Wow. That's incredible. If my opponent, or if that doesn't scare my opponent, I don't know what will. That was so much damage in just one single hit. So yeah, all we need to do is power up our Spiritomb after we go for another Thunderclap shot, and we should be able to knock out 2 Shaymins. We might be able to knock out the Mega Rayquaza in the next turn if we find a Faded Town. If we counter, my opponent can discard 2 Shaymins, maybe 3 Shaymins, but then we should still have enough damage. So down goes our Raichu. We will promote our Raichu again, we'll attach DCE, we will then hopefully find our XP share. We really need our XP share for our Spiritomb right now if we want to pull something off. There's a level ball. Alright, let's grab ourselves our Pikachu. Another Pikachu. Can we find our XP shares? That's the big question right now. If we do not, I think my opponent stands actually a good chance at taking this game. So let's go for our N. And then let's see, and my opponent back down to 3 cards, which is good for us. So what will we get here? We get an Yveltal, we get a Level Ball, Super Odds. Alright, we will Super Odds, I think. Yes, so let's Super Odds some cards back into our deck. Let's get back the Smeargle for sure. Let's get back maybe a Pikachu here, and then maybe an Energy. Yes, I think that's seems pretty good. Let's take a look at the discard pile. Run Raichu in the discard pile. Maybe actually let's get make a Raichu instead of the energy. Then we can get out another Raichu for sure at some point. Then let's take a look here at this level ball. We'll probably grab our Smeargle because we need it for our Spiritomb, so we can swap out the lightning energies for the darkest energies on a Spiritomb. Then let's take a look at the Transmail. We find ourselves a Sycamore. Fantastic. We needed that for draw support, that's for sure. So let's play down our Smeargle. I don't think we will play down our Yveltal here. We will counter the Stadium with our Faded Town, I believe. We could do that, we could not do that. If we counter the Stadium and my opponent discards 3 Shaymin, do we have enough damage on the bench still to knock out 2 EX Pokémon with our Spiritomb? I think we do, so let's counter the Stadium. We will then Thunderclap Shot for 100 to the active Rayquaza and then 200 to the bench. Big question is, does my opponent discard Shaymins or does he discard Hoopas? He discards 1 Hoopa there, yes, alright. Will he discard another Hoopa? Please tell me it does. I would be so happy if it discards another Hoopa. But I think he will go for the Shaymins here. He seems to be thinking it over. And there is the discard of the Shaymin. Alright, discards another Shaymin. That's it. So we will hit for the Thunderclap Shot for a ton of damage. 100 to the active, 200 to the bench, and then 20 more to the active because of the Faded Town Stadium. And down goes the Mega Rayquaza. Our first 2 prizes of the game are Circle Circuit Raichu and Transmail. I'll probably evolve into my Circle Circuit Raichu in the next turn. We might be able to knock out that Rayquaza from our opponent with our Circle Circuit Raichu here. If we can do that, we actually stand a really good chance at taking this game, because then we can, or we have some time to set up our Spiritomb. We might be able to just take the game by licensing our Shaymin or something and not even use our Spiritomb at all. But we do need to find an energy in the next turn, and we need to find an XP share for our Spiritomb. Those are the requirements for us to take the game in the next turn. So let's take a look here. Do we have XP shares in the discard pile? I think we did. 1 XP share. My opponent has got quite a few resources in a discard pile here. Yes, 2 Mega Turbos, couple of hammers there. Counters our Steam again, alright. Can he find Spirit Link? Can he find a Mega Rayquaza? He only had 1 Spirit Link in the discard pile, but he has those 2 Mega Rayquazas in the discard pile as well. Knocks us out with the Dragon Pulse, discards an energy there. Down goes our Raichu, and this is where we needed our XP share in this turn, because now we are forced to find ourselves energy. So let's evolve into our Circle Circuit Raichu. Let's take a look at our Transmail. Can we find the XP share? Floatstone, alright, might as well get it out, put it on my Smeargle. I think we don't need to bench our Yveltal because we are knocking out this Rayquaza with our Raichu already. If we find the DCE, so let's Sycamore our hand away. Can we find the DCE? Can we find the XP share? There's an XP share but no DCE. Oh boy, at the very least we needed an energy here for our Spiritomb, or for the Pikachu here, for the Nuzzle. We did get that Pikachu, which is good, but we needed an energy here more so than the XP share, and we didn't get it. The DCE is what we were after, but just a lightning would have been fine as well. There's no point to us using this escape rope, I think, because my opponent has got the Garbodor, so yes, let's not do that. Can we do anything? I might just thin out my deck here with Ultra Ball, maybe counter the Stadium. First of all, let's put the XP share on the Spiritomb, let's not forget. And then let's maybe Ultra Ball away the Shaymin and the escape rope, because the Shaymin is completely useless. Might want a Delinquent in the next turn, so I'm going to discard the escape rope and the Shaymin and grab myself maybe that Raichu here to thin out my deck a little bit. Make sure we can draw into an energy in the next turn, or increase my chances of drawing into that energy. And then we will retreat into... I think I'm gonna let the Smeargle get knocked out. Or maybe the Pikachu. No, I'm gonna go for the Smeargle, because if we want to take this game here, we'll have to do it with our Raichus. The Spiritomb is not going to be possible anymore, I think. It is too slow. Can we find ourselves a DC for the next turn? We have 2 DCs in the discard pile here. So we need to find a DC from the top deck, or it is going to be GG. Funnily enough, this is actually a fantastic matchup for us, but this turn, that was not a good turn. Boy, oh boy, that was not a good turn. So our top deck is going to be very decisive. There's a Lysander. No, please, no Lysander. Oh no, a Lysander on our Raichu. I think that's it. GG to my opponent here. Well played. Very unorthodox Rayquaza deck, but it definitely paid off for my opponents. He kind of won this game because of his Garbodor, because we could not use our Shaymins when we needed to, and also thanks to his hammers. The hammers slowed us down in our first turn. We top deck an escape rope. No, well, let's go for the delinquent. Might as well. Then let's see here. Use our escape rope. There's nothing we can do here to prevent my opponent from taking the KO. I think even if we use our escape rope, discards another hammer there. He had another hammer in his hands. Might as well evolve here. Then we will escape rope. We will play down our stadium. And we will play down or pause the turn to my opponent. Maybe he does something dumb here and promotes a Hoopa. Maybe we can save the game that way, but he does not. He promotes his Garbodor after all. And yes, there's nothing we can do here. So let's promote our Raichu. Let's play down our Faded Town. And then let's end our turn. Let's give our opponent that KO on our Raichu. GG to you, Bumbeaster. Well played. Well played. I cannot believe it. Such a shame. We missed out on our energies in the last couple of turns. GG. I will tell him I ran dry of energy here. An energy on the Rayquaza on the bench, and then we will see the Dragon Pulse for the KO. We were so close. We could taste the victory in our mouth, but our opponent took it away from us. Well, alright, can't win all the time. So let's take a look at the stats here. I'm curious. 750 damage dealt versus 780 from my opponent. Raichu MVP versus Mega Rayquaza EX. And I think that is going to be it here for me today. Maybe not. Let's actually find ourselves another opponent. Kidding. Ha! Alright, let's find ourselves another opponent indeed. XXX Danatosh XXX charges to battle with a water deck. No, no water decks. Hate water decks with my Raichu deck here. It's nearly impossible for us to win against any and all water decks that are not EX decks, and most of the time they are not EX decks. So this is probably going to be great.
Karp, 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 Karp.